Hey Carla, it's Mark again. I've got a quick one for you today. This is a marinated salad that Mom makes. This is different from what Mom makes because this originally began life as basically a marinated bean salad. And if you know me, you know I don't eat beans. Carla, I don't think you do either. I think you and I have had the bean discussion. So what I've done is I've taken her recipe and I modified it to my own particular taste. And so I'm going to show you how I do it. Keep in mind with this recipe you can use whatever vegetables you want. This has got green beans in it. It's got baby corn, onions, green pepper, roasted red pepper, water chestnuts. It's got a vinaigrette dressing basically on it. And it sits and marinates for several days in the refrigerator. You can add mushrooms. You could do artichoke hearts. Broccoli would be good. Whatever you want to add to it. It's up to you. Whatever you like. But it's very good. It's very light tasting. It's very refreshing. Make it anytime. It's a good side dish. And so I'm going to show you how we're going to make it right now. Getting started with the marinated salad, there's just a few simple ingredients that I'm going to use. And again, you can use whatever ingredients you want to use. Mix it up whatever you particularly want to have. This is just my personal preference because I don't like all the beans that were in the original recipe. But I'm starting off with 1 can of French style green beans. That is original to Mom's recipe. I'm going to use some baby corn. I'm going to use some roasted red peppers. I like some water chestnuts in mine for the crunch. A sweet onion. A bell pepper that we're going to cut into basically bite-sized pieces. We're going to need some smoked paprika, some sugar, apple cider vinegar, and a neutral, non-flavored oil, basically canola oil. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to get started by making the liquid mixture first, and then we'll work on the vegetative stuff. So we're starting off with, in a bowl, 3/4 of a cup of sugar. To this we're going to add 1 cup of apple cider vinegar, going to add 1 teaspoon of paprika, and then 1/2 cup of the oil. Of course, I forgot to take the protective seal off of this. Okay, then we're just going to mix that together and set it aside for a few minutes. I have a nice big spoon here. If you don't want to use sugar, you can use whatever sugar substitute you want, but the equivalent of 3/4 of a cup of sugar. So if you use Splenda or whatever your alternative is, that'll be just fine. Just give that a good mix. Just kind of get the sugar kind of mixed in with the vinegar basically. Alright, set that off to the side. Then we're going to add in our other stuff, and then we'll combine them together to make the salad. Alright, time to assemble. So what I've done is I've cut the onion into bits and pieces. I've taken the green pepper and cut it into, kind of chunk-sized pieces. Did the same thing with the jar of the roasted red pepper. Now the original recipe called for a can of pimento. I happen to like the flavor, the roastiness of the roasted red peppers, the smokiness of it. That's why I prefer that. But I've cut those into chunk-sized pieces also. I've drained the cans of the green beans, the corn, and the water chestnuts. So now it's time to assemble. So we'll start off with the green beans. The corn. I used to use like just cans of corn, like niblet corn, but I happen to like the cut up corn better. I guess the chunkiness of it. It gives you something more to bite into instead of chasing little kernels of corn around with a fork. Works a little better that way. Onion, and then the peppers. And then we just pour the liquid mixture over this. Use the sugar stirred up again. We just pour this over the top. Then it's going to go in the refrigerator and sit for several days. This is best made 2 to 3 days ahead of time before you actually want to eat it. So kind of plan ahead on that. 2 to 3 days ahead. Stir it every so often. But that's pretty much it. I mean, it couldn't get any easier than that. I'm just going to pour that over like such. Give it a little stir here. Probably could have used a bigger bowl, but y'all know me, planning ahead, not one of my fortes. But anyway, mix these up a little bit without slinging stuff everywhere over the kitchen like I'm normally prone to do. In the end, this makes a nice, colorful, and very, very tasty little side dish. It's very refreshing. It's very light. It's going to be all for me because Joseph is not going to touch this with a 10-foot pole because this got vegetables in it, or as he calls it, grassy stuff. It's also got vinegar on it, which he is not a vinegar person. Don't even think about putting a pickle in front of him because it will go nowhere fast. But that's it. Let it marinate again several days, and there you go, the marinated salad. So we're going to put the top on it into the refrigerator. A couple of days, we'll be ready to eat. And oh, by the way, Audrey, if you were watching this video, I tried to send you a Christmas card, but apparently you have moved and left no address. That's the second time you've done this to me. So either you're trying to avoid me or you're in the witness protection program. I don't know which. So anyway, Audrey, here's your Christmas card. I hope you like it. Might also mention Audrey's the one who did the photograph. She's a fantastic photographer. So that's her handiwork there. So anyway, Audrey, there's your Christmas card. Sorry I didn't make it to you because you keep hiding from me. I love you anyway. So there we go. That's the marinated salad from Mom. I will put the original recipe from her in the description below the video on the right hand side. There's a little arrow triangle. Click on that, opens up the description. I'll put her original recipe on there, but you can use whatever vegetables you want to. Broccoli would be good in this. Normally I put mushrooms in this. And I forgot the mushrooms today because I went shopping at Kroger the Friday before Christmas, and it was very traumatic, and I'm still recovering from that. That's why there's no mushrooms in it. But anyway, any vegetables you want to use will work just fine. So there we go. Hope you like it.